The primary goal of our content session today was to give you a strategy that can help students grapple with the text in preparation for a Socratic seminar. By using a cooperative structure like PALS, you have a strategy that meets the four basic principles of cooperative learning. Positive interdependence. Both students are engaged and need the other in order to fully comprehend what was read. Individual accountability. Both students are required to read and answer questions. Equal participation. Partners take turns as a coach and as a reader so they have equal opportunities to listen. And simultaneous interaction. At any given point in the strategy, 50% of students are reading, talking, while the other 50% are actively listening, coaching. That equals 100% engagement. As I said earlier, if I'd had more time, I would have taken the opportunity to have students analyze FDR's drafts and final speech. This shows our students that editing and revising really do exist outside of a classroom. For lesson plans on how to analyze this speech, you may want to also use the National Archives and Records Administration's document analysis tools. Two options are available. One is for the novice, which is perfect for scaffolding with students who have not had experience with document analysis or for those who just need support. And then there's the intermediate, which requires more analysis and details for students who are more familiar with document analysis. After all of that, I would have presented students with this dilemma. Is Japan's attack on Guam forgotten history? As you can see in this screenshot of the middle school textbook, nothing is mentioned regarding Guam. For comparison, you could have students look in the textbook top at 14 and see how much is mentioned about Pearl Harbor and how FDR's speech is referenced. The high school textbook mentions Guam 3 times on pages 394, 395, and 580. Only one of those pages is in reference to World War II. After pointing this out, I feel confident the students would say this is a piece of forgotten history, so we would then move into the Socratic seminar portion of the lesson. Having norms is always a good way to ensure things run more smoothly. These are samples that I would have used with the class. You could have students make up their own questions for the seminar, or you can provide some. If students are new to the strategy, having questions like these is helpful. Since they are going to be writing, I felt these questions would push students in the direction they would be going. After the Socratic seminar, students would be assigned to a particular part of a performance task. Since they are supposed to be writing an addendum to the social studies books, one group would make a timeline of the events that happened leading up to December 7th and 8th, 1941, and what happened in Guam afterwards. Group 2 would write an addendum on the invasion of Guam on December 8th, 1941, and Group 3 would write an addendum for what life was like for the people of Guam under Japanese occupation. Each group would be responsible for creating their own timeline and addendums. They could work together as a larger group, but they must have their own for their smaller groups. The jigsaw groups would then come back together and share what they learned and what they created, giving each other feedback based on what they learned during their time apart. Students put their products together and post them for viewing. Then they can see what other groups did in a carousel walk. I hope you enjoyed the strategies presented today. While the content covered is not found in our social studies standards per se, the idea of forgotten history can be used for ELA and as an extension in social studies classes where students have already mastered the content. As we approach the 83rd anniversary of the Day of Infamy speech, let us not forget that others were attacked too. Since the liberation of Guam on July 21st, 1944, Guam has been an integral part of our military and country. They have the highest enlistment rate per capita in the United States. Guam is home to multiple military facilities, acting as the tip of the spear because of its proximity to Asia. To our colleagues in Guam, Hafa Adai, thank you for all that you do for our country and military-connected children. Bibogahan.